Audio Jungle.
ABC News has released the first segment of its much-anticipated interview with First Lady Melania Trump. In the preview of her special, set to air on Friday, the First Lady is asked if she supports the Me Too movement, which was revived on the heels of over a dozen women accusing her own husband of sexual assault or harassment. I support the women and they need to be heard.We need to support them, and also men, not just women, explains Melania. We need to have hard evidence that you know that if you are accused of something, show the evidence. The interview took place while the First Lady was in Kenya, and she can be seen wearing the same Ralph Lauren riding boots and pants as well as her Pith helmet. Being Melania, the First Lady will air this Friday at 10 p.m. on ABC, and the network claims that no question was off the table. Chief National Affairs Correspondent Tom Llamas, who conducts the interview, points out that her answer to the Me Too question might be seen as not supporting victims, a concern that the First Lady brushes aside. I do stand with women, but we need to show the evidence.You. You cannot just say to somebody, I was, sexually assaulted or you did that to me, she says. Because sometimes the media goes too far, and the way they portray some stories, it's not correct.It is not right. Prior to that, the First Lady was seen discussing how hard her job has been in the White House when it comes to finding partners with for her Be Best initiative. It's sad to see that organizations and foundations that I want to partner with chose not to because of the administration, says the First Lady. I feel they are choosing the politics over helping others. When asked to name a charity or initiative that turned her down, the First Lady declines. I'm not going to talk about it, they know who they are, she tells Llamas. I'm not going to put them out in front of the world. A preview aired on Tuesday also showed that the First Lady is asked about the state of her marriage and her husband's infidelity. You're not the First Lady to have to deal with your husband's infidelities. Has this put a strain on your marriage? He later asks the First Lady. The preview ends with him asking about the jacket, which the First Lady wore soon after her husband's Justice Department enacted an order which allowed parents and their children to be separated at the border. On a visit to one of the facilities housing those children, the First Lady wore a Zara jacket which read, "I really don't care, do you?" People, it turned out, did in fact care. And lastly, Llamas asks the third Trump what the biggest misconception is about her.It has been over a year since Melania last gave an interview with a major network, and almost all of her appearances on television have been by her husband's side. Last June, the First Lady spoke with Fox and Friends host Ainsley Earhardt in a segment that was filmed during the annual Congressional picnic. She revealed that she could not be happier just 2 weeks after moving into the White House with son Baron. "We are enjoying it very much," Melania said then of her time at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. When asked how her then 11-year-old son was handling the move, Melania said, "He loves it, yes, all settled. He loves it here." "I'm so busy, and we're doing so many great stuff. So it's really special place, and I love it here," said Melania, who was born in Slovenia. She became a permanent resident of the United States back in 2001, and 5 years later she was able to obtain her citizenship after marrying President Trump. Melania, who is only the second First Lady to have been born outside the country, also spoke a bit about putting together her first congressional picnic. "Tonight, it's a great picnic, congressional picnic with all of us getting together," said Melania. It's New York City team. "And we have carousel and great stuff outside." That interview with Fox and Friends was far briefer and toned down than her chat with ABC and was filmed in the largely nondescript map room of the White House. It was also more Melania making a cameo in the interview, with a majority of the time being taken up by President Trump as he talked about healthcare, James Comey, and what he believes are his biggest accomplishments since taking office. The First Lady, who was asked just 4 questions during the 20-minute interview, smiled and nodded along approvingly as her husband spoke. But their Donald will not be making an appearance in Friday's interview, instead allowing the limelight to fall solely on Melania.